probably, oh God, I remember having this little ghetto blaster that we would take with us, on road trips, and I'd be sitting in the front, and oh God, my mom probably just had to be going crazy. I don't know why she never made me get headphones, but I just, over there just cranked up, trying to find the sweet spot on the EQ, because that was a big deal when you were like 13. You got a stereo with an EQ. You're like, yeah, I got a fucking 5 band graphic equalizer. I'm the shit now. But
I got
yeah,
two detachable speakers I can move in my room.
detachable. I'm telling you that ghetto blaster, I played the shit out of that with it.
I think I ended up hooking like some like wiring some extra speakers and all kinds
Got
of
it.
random shit. But
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
those it's one like now somebody said cassettes are starting to make a comeback and I'm going, "No. No, I want to be able to like skip tracks. I don't want to have to try to remember like, okay, hold it down for one, two, three.
And cassettes getting eaten. That's the other thing too. And you're just like, no. Yeah,
Pencil
and
out.
flip it around. That was the worst when it got reversed, and you'd hear that everything going backwards. And you're like, dude, that's kind of funny.
And now I gotta.
It's my fucking accept. Come on.
Oh, and my fat cat decided to join me. All right.
Gato, welcome to the party.
Fucking 25-pound cat.
Holy shit, Heathcliff or Garfield?
No,
Hey,
like
what's hey man? I'm doing my own thing.
he
Fine.
is. Well, like ended up getting him on. It was Friday the 13th during a full moon, and he's a black cat. So I'm just like glad I'm not superstitious at all.
Or a ladder as you were getting him. I mean, you like hit the fucking checklist there. Yep, 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 yep.
And then we named him Loki. So
Then you went to do some graveyard shots, right?
no, I think this was before I was doing the graveyard stuff. I was still
Okay.
trying to. I was working like 70-hour work weeks on night shift in a fab shop. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
now I work 60-hour work weeks in a fab shop, Dre, at like anywhere from 3 to 4 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, and then I turn around and do all the house stuff and the stuff with kids and videos, and then it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm going to bed, and I get up and do it all over again. And like I know Feck Fest the first night, I heard my alarms going off, and I'm like, what the hell is it? Oh, oh, this is when I'm normally waking up. Okay.
Oh, there's something like I swear I literally just closed my eyes. How the fuck could that thing be going off already, man?
Well, I got to work late, like 13 minutes today. It was like 4:13, and everybody's sitting outside, and the other three people that had keys didn't show up today. So I'm just like, they're like, "Oh, nice of you to show up." But hey, at least I showed up. Leave me alone. Like I didn't want to
That's
be
that.
here in the first place. I got enough other shit going on that I need to do.
Oh hell yeah! And I got to give a quick plug. This is like a commercial break here. If you guys didn't know, I'm into vintage clothing and shit like that. So I've had a vintage clothing store up on eBay and Etsy for like probably almost 6 years now, selling all kinds of old school dead stock gear. I mean, we're talking. I basically ran my own business on it for 5 or 6 years. Just that was all I did was just reselling. Finding collectible toys and mainly clothing. And I guess I'll show you like an example here. The This is some of the stuff we got up on our shop. The Beaver Patrol shirt. I mean, so these are actual old school like 70s shirts. Like this is an old school 1970s Russell Athletic tag. So I mean that shirt's like what? It's probably almost as old as I am. And then you get the old school like iron-on graphics to go with it, actual 70s, 80s transfers, and boom, you got badass old school shirts. So if you guys get a chance, I'm rocking it old school on Etsy, C&D Vintage over on eBay. I'm always putting up shit for auction. So come over and check it out if you're into vintage clothing and help support dudes like me that need to make money and try to buy some home studio equipment.
Yeah, I know
You know,
all about the toy
this thing.
stuff. Okay,
Oh,
Loki.
you're boys
You.
too, dude.
Oh yeah.
Uh oh, we just had another hour segment added to the show.
No, like just random stuff that I don't sell anything. I just collect like proton pack. I
Dude, that's
do I do like opening videos for random stuff. So like some of these little fun ones that I've got where it's cat shedding, like Boygar D, where it's just like random little.
Oh yeah, and
They just
I
take
was all packs and garbage pail kids too. Like those are some of my favorite things to collect. Like,
like craft shingles, stale old cheese. Like they're just
are those packages? Is that what those are?
no, they're as I've got all my random stuff around to start working. They're wacky pack minis where they just basically
Those were trading cards back in my day. And they were actually back before that. They were clear back in like the 60s and 70s. But yeah, they like one of my favorite ones from like fourth or fifth grade was GI Toe. It was like supposed to be a GI Joe figure, but it had like a toe in there, combat toe, you know. And oh, I love the shit out of those, dude. I got hundreds of those wacky packs. Them and Garbage Pail Kids were like old school 80s shit for me, man.
well, like I enjoy opening them because I'll do videos where I'll try to guess what it is by just feeling the stuff and like
Uh huh.
okay, I'm gonna base it off of I've got four cylinder ones, so I'm gonna go with this one. And there's quite a few times like I can literally go to some of the stores and like the kids will be looking for, okay, we want this certain Demon Slayer keychain. All right, bring me the box. What? So I'll look at the picture and I'm over there. Nope, nope.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go home and dig up. I swear I have like several of those little wacky pack, like the little product figure things they put out. I swear I got them somewhere. They had like
Oh,
a zit cat, and all this shit. So I'm gonna have to go look for those.
and like random little Funko Pops for TV show me and the kids watch Fairy Tale. So I mean, I'm one of those. I'm a collector, so I like.
Yeah, and that was my biggest problem. Is like I lost all my '80s toys. So like I'd start going to garage sales, learning about reselling, and I'd find like ooh Millennium Falcon, or a $2 Transformer I sold for 85 bucks or 120. I'd be like, dude, that's what got me into reselling. But it's bad because then you like find collections. Well, then you're stuck with fuck, dude. I have a Star Wars collection. I've always wanted this. Like I need to get into selling like Afghans or blankets or something that I'm not into because you find the collection and you're like, ooh, the inner child in me is like, all right, yes, now I get to keep it. And the other one over here is like, but Derek, you need to sell this to make money. But you've always wanted an AT-AT Walker and a Millennium Falcon. You have it all. So it was probably a bad thing to get into was collecting and selling toys, especially with the kids. Like, thank God my kids are awesome about it. But can you imagine being a kid and your dad is bringing home like this whole basement of Hot Wheels and Star Wars and GI Joe and be like, sorry, I can't play with it. But that's not actually how dad was. I would always hook them up with shit, probably more than they needed. But yeah,
My kids have the gaming systems, and there's a lot of things that they'll see that they want. It's like, you do your chores this week? Well, yeah, kind of. We did it like 3 days. All right, you can pick one, but like we'll go. My kids are my kids and my girlfriend's kids. It's hilarious because between the two of us, there's seven of us or seven kids. And I think last year we went to Comic Con and there was one kid that didn't go because that's not their scene. But like my daughter and her daughter are both. And the weird thing is, like, all our kids are close to the same age. She has a 21-year-old. My oldest turns 20 this year. We have two 16-year-olds, two 14, or, well, one 14, soon to be 14-year-old, and 11-year-old. And they're all, like, most of them collect different random toys and stuff. And it's just like, oh,
you're on the other end of the spectrum with your age group. I'm like still down, like stacked on this, bottom half of the roster, like, but so I need to take notes from all you guys and be like, all right, so what's going on now? Huh? What happened? Yeah, because I got a 13-year-old. That's a I was just thinking to myself too. We were talking about something like, yeah, but what were you like at 13? I was like, oh god, you're gonna make me think about that. Like, okay, I was a little hellion. I was disrespectful. Okay, I get it. I get it.
you're a little shit like me, trying to make you better than me. I get it.
That's all I told us parents. It's all we want to do is our kids to be better than us. Or at least have a chance to.
The best one that is like, those phrases that your parents would say that just annoyed the shit out of you, like shut the door, you don't want to heat the neighborhood, and then you catch
Yep.
yourself saying it to your kids. And the best part is when like the kids are saying it to the other kids, and it's like I'm I'm taking that win. That is my win right there. Like, shut the door. We're not letting out all the heat.
I'm not paying to heat the whole neighborhood. Yep. Oh
Yes.
God. Sometimes you'll stop a little bit after that and you'll be like, oh God. It's like that commercial that you see about we can't stop you from becoming your parents, but it's like so real. I'm like, oh, and then anybody that wants to admit it, or that says, oh, I'm not like my parents. Yeah, you are. Like it or not, you're like your parents.
There's
So
parts of me that are like my parents, and there's other parts that my parents are like, oh hell no, you keep that shit way over there.
right,
My mom's a nurse. My dad was a school teacher, and I turned out being this metalhead, can go anywhere. Like, you put me in a hotel, I'm fine. You put me in a house, couch, put me in the back of the vehicle, and I'm with my big ass unicorn pillow, and I'm
metalhead.
good.
I like it. Nomad. That's the word I'm looking for. Traveling.
I'm I'm either a homebody or I'm out and about doing my own thing. Like, when I do like my magnet fishing stuff, it's always hilarious because it's like, how do you know when you're in a good spot? When I go like this with my cell phone and I have no signal, it's like, all right, I'm good. Now to find a river. This means I'm out far enough in the boonies that nobody's gonna bother me.
Yeah, I'm about due for a vacation. For me, I'd love to be able to slip out to Colorado sometime and just enjoy a little cabin time. Just chilling with a little stream going there and just something about when it's up there, like you're out of the humidity in the summertime. It's like nice and just the air's nice and crisp. And smells good with pine trees. Like that's a perfect afternoon for me. Just not too hot, not too cold, but just chilling up the mountains. Just yeah,
My
vegging. The soul
my
is kind
problem is I see stuff and it's like, ooh, get the camera. Ooh, give me that. Okay, I gotta go take the.
of, that's good.
Well, like I try telling the kids, and like I've met some of their friends' parents, and they're like, "You're not like any of the other parents." Well, no shit, I'm not like any of the other parents. I get that. I'm comfortable as me. I mean, most parents, like I'm pretty sure you have your kids have friends, parents that you've met, and you're just like, oh, oh, I don't. I'm glad I'm not that one. Where it's like I've told the girlfriend, if you ever see me dressing like, you know, the two button collar, and the shirt tucked into the khakis that are above the knees with the socks, and like the tan sandals and things like that, I'm like, just run me over. Just like I've lost who I am. Hit me with a car, see if we can re-jog something, like, or I lost a bet. There's one.
Yeah, especially as I struggled, I'm hitting closer to that big 5-0. I just keep telling myself like, okay, so you're 47 now. Like, are you sure about this? Like, how's a 47-year-old supposed to act? Then you meet other people that are 40-ish, 7-ish. You're like, oh, okay, so I'm still just a big kid. Basically, is what the conclusion that I've come to. Like, apparently, I'm just not going to grow up. I'm just going to stay like this
I'm
forever.
a Toys R Us kid. I just tell people I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up.
Yeah, exactly. I use that one on my '80s show quite a bit, but um, yeah, that's one thing I want to make sure to mention too. One more time, that you guys got to come over to 107 Rock WBRR. It's based out of Orlando, Florida. Brother Wayne Benson has set it up, and it is like the coolest station, dude. He's doing so many good things for different bands, like you are, as far as getting the word out. And he was so cool to me. I mean, we met on a Facebook page that was called "Don't Kill the Vibe" or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know that
Yeah,
one.
okay, so that was going crazy for a while. Then it got weird. Then the dude just disappeared. But luckily, like I had met Wayne, and he was one of them guys I just always kind of talked to. And he's like, "Come check out this clubhouse thing. We can chat on there." I'm like, "All right, whatever. I'll check it out." And so we talked for probably like 2 hours the first night. Just shooting the shit back and forth. And then we always talked about. Well, he's like, "Well, maybe you come over and do a show. Maybe you just come on, do whatever you want." And I'm like literally whatever I was. Like, yeah, just as long as it's not offensive or whatever, just come on. Check it out. So Wayne got COVID, so I got kind of put on the back burner, and then eventually we kind of messaged each other and got to talking about it. He's like, because I mean, I love radio, I love doing what I'm doing, but I'm a metalhead too, so like, there's this part of me inside that's like, just kind of wanting a little more, like I want to do
How about some Judas
metal.
Priest?
Come on, bring your tunes, do what you want to do, So he literally gave me a license to be like, go play what you want, do what you want, and do your thing. I trust you. And so he kind of gave me the keys, and it has been the coolest thing, man. I'm telling you, this first Friday night gig, got to interview Gene Hunter from New York Fury. That was really cool. Those dudes, they're like an 80s band that were on the cusp of breaking out. And then they had a tragedy kind of come and it kind of derailed things for them. And then 30 some years later, boom, they're finally getting the demo getting ready to go out. And it's actually out right now. And all of a sudden, people are buying their shit in Japan, and all over the world. And that's a hell of a story, man. That's the kind of cool stuff that I like to hear about. It's like that 80s tape that a long lost 80s band that you finally get to check out, and it's like it's happening right now and it's really cool to see.
Well, that's like I know, like with between that one being invited into a group chat and seeing tons of bands stuff popping off, I'm also like I see stuff from the KZUM
Metal.
with John, yeah, the Metal Manifesto with John, and then there's a group in Kansas that I'm I somehow got in with them. I don't know. They just kind of invited me in. I went to a show down there and they're like, hey, we're doing a group photo. I'm like, cool, I'll grab my camera. They're like, no, you're in it. I am? Yeah, you're one of us. Get in here.
Hell yes.
Okay. But yeah, there's like just those three alone. I'm finding like I gotta start getting back into the reaction review videos, but like just those alone, there's ungodly amounts of content that like, okay, I can do one for this band. I'm like over here writing bands down on pieces of paper. Like I'll see them come across my newsfeed, and it's like
you know
I don't even know where all the damn notebooks ran off to. I think I got like three or four running around. I got loose pieces of paper. I've got like my little YouTube area, and I've got album reviews that I got to finish writing up and posting and doing videos for. Like I've got ungodly amounts of stuff, but it's also one of those things too that there aren't a lot of people doing it, and there's just as many underground bands that are as good, if not better, in my opinion, than like a lot of the mainstream bands. And everybody only want like you only see the YouTube videos where it's okay, we're gonna interview, we'll just say Lamb of God because metalheads know who Lamb of God is, so we're only gonna interview bands like that versus underground bands don't get the interviews or the reaction review videos or things like that. So it's like, okay, I found my niche and it just kind of taken a life of its own. And it's like, oh, I need to hire more people.
or want to clone yourself. If you could just have one more of you, that would help. That's how I feel. I mean, I would also fight with that other guy a lot, I'm afraid, but I'd be on his ass all the time. Like, dude, you're not doing shit today. What are you doing? But no, sometimes I wish I had one more of me because I have so much I want to do, as far as like radio, trying to get stuff done, trying to work on my clothing because I still have 10,000 pieces of vintage clothing to need dealt with, and it's just sitting over here like, like, should get that shit sold so I can buy some studio gear. That's
I
like
need
my plan here lately.
I need like three or four of me where it's like, okay, or I need five. That's what I need. All right, you got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, you Thursday. All right, you go hit this show. You go hit this show. All right, we're gonna work on these. Okay, we'll get this computer set up. You get a work. You're working on editing this way, and we're gonna just cycle through. Like I just need to take the same brain and stick it in all of them.
Well, if you do that, make sure you give yourself weekends off, man. Fuck
I,
that.
I don't know if I know which one. It'd be like, okay, now all you got to go get the same tattoos as me, so we can all. Well, I don't want this one. All right, don't have that one. Oh, that confused the shit out of the kids. Be like, Dad, yes, 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 yes.
Have you seen the Minions movie? When that doctor from 5 minutes ago, you go over there and do that. Oh, I've killed the original. I can't remember what that. But exactly, that's why maybe I shouldn't do that. So yeah,
Well, I
no
don't know.
cloning.
I don't know if everybody could handle that many of me.
That's another aspect too. Yeah, because with all the good would come all the bad. Be like, okay, well, the world doesn't need that much. Then that's thank God because I'm a weird dude. Like I'm. And then I used to be really weirded out by my weirdness, if that makes sense. But at some point, I just kind of tried to embrace it here after a while. Like, you know what? there's enough of everybody that's like each other. There's plenty of these people that are like them. Just be different. Fuck it, okay? Just quit worrying about it. Quit trying to be like everybody. Because especially growing up as a kid, that was what it was all about. Is oh, I got to fit in. I got to do this.
Oh, do
I'm
you?
not like him. At some point, you just have to embrace that and say, you know what, you're just you, and be you, and the world needs you as you are. I guess that's my advice to you. Everybody, be yourself because the world needs you like you are.
Well, like everybody'd have the Nike hats, so you got to go out and get the Nike hat to match everybody else. Or they had this style of T-shirt, so you had to go get this style of T-shirt. I said, I, I know about oh into freshman year, into my sophomore year in high school. So like, oh, that'd be like what 15, 16, somewhere in there was when I kind of started to figure out. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this. This is how I'm gonna dress. This is what I'm gonna wear. Like I'd start rocking band t-shirts that I went and saw that were local bands that it's like, hey, let me get one of those t-shirts, and I start rocking it at school. Or this was around the time like early 2000s when everybody was trying to ban 311 because they thought it was like that gang stuff. And like I had one of their CDs and my dad's like, you can't wear the 311 shirt that you have. And I'm like, well, I stole it out of the lost and found at the track place. So, but I was like, here's their album. You decide if I can wear it after hearing their music. And after he listened to it, he's like, wear it. I don't care.
Know that I've always been down, down. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're not going out and pulling any drive-bys. I get it.
Might smoke some pot. That's about all you're gonna do. If we can get you off the fucking couch, that's where you're gonna be. We get it. You're like this
Forgot
reggae dude.
who's got the herb that I think was on one of like a High Times like compilation CD or something like that. I forgot all about that.
Well, this was like their self-titled and like transistor album era. So like right at the beginning when they had that weird like punky rock reggae rap metal vibe, whatever you. It was when they were kind of their own little entity, and then they kind of went weird, where they got way too stoned.
Yep. Back when everybody just dreamed about going to Amsterdam, like all the way. Oh, we gotta save up to go to the Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam, and now it's like, well, just drive to any one of these several states that are cool with it. And you don't have to go so far now. So
You got an 8 hour drive to Colorado, you'd be fine.
exactly, exactly. Go do some sightseeing.
Well, you're gonna see stuff that well, depending on what you get,
Depends
you'll
on how you or how often especially if you're a first timer and you're gonna go. Take it easy out there.
well, it's
Crawl.
gotten it's gotten so weird with like all the stuff that they have now from when I was doing it. Like I've been clean for what the hell am I at? Almost 13 years.
Hell
Like I
yeah.
kind of I had to quit it. There was in between my history and other people in the family and kids kind of made me promise and it's like all right I go but if I get there's like four opportunities if I get them I can throw away my being clean. It's Willie, Snoop, Cheech and Chong, and I think it's like Dave Chappelle.
That's quite the list. Yeah, there you go.
I, just taking the picture and posting it on social media works like, oh, we got a random UA. Yeah, bullshit, we got a random UA. You saw me smoking with Snoop Dogg. Well, why didn't you say no? Because it's Snoop Dogg? Like,
Exactly. That's Super Bowl Snoop, man. Shit.
that was the one thing I didn't see a bet on Vegas when they're like when they had them on the halftime show was like, okay, well Snoop smoke on the field. And then you see like the clips beforehand, he's like ducking down, puffing. It's like, okay, even there they couldn't stop Snoop.
Yup. All I can think of is Dazed and Confused, smoking a J at the 50-yard line. But at the Super Bowl.
I
Only
mean, if
Snoop, man. That shit.
exactly, if anybody's gonna be able to pull that off, it would definitely be Snoop. And if anybody's gonna not give a fuck, it's gonna be Snoop.